Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the celebration or celebration. I love that. They've been using that SAIL dash EBRATION. I always have to look it up. So, episode one of the docuseries, which I think is a fantastic name. Um, I already had the opportunity to see it like about over a week ago. So I had to go back and take my notes because I don't want to like divulge anything as we're watching. But episode one was fun. And I'm interested in hello everyone that's joining. I wanted to kick this off with you maybe commenting. I know you're all going to say hi to each other and Merry Christmas in July. Look, I got my dress on. um, I'm interested in who you think would be or which story you're most interested in. They're all very good. So obviously there's over 2,000 people, 2,000 fans on this ship. And there are 60,000 people waiting to get on to the next cruise. And I was curious as to which story with the fans was most interesting to you. I will tell you they're all good. They all have surprises. They're all good. But just as a refresher, I'll remind you, there is the Sir. Hi Jan. Hi Miranda's here. So just as a reminder, there's the Vermeer family. That's the mother with her daughter-in-law and her daughter Paige and Al or Alex. There's their story. They're kind of funny. You like the mom, daughter, and daughter-in-law? Okay, Sandra. Or Sandra, rather. Sorry, Sandra. Or is it Sandra? Is it an A? Yeah, it is Sandra. I do know a Sandra. Then there's Donna and Rob. They have a really good story too. They're the couple that have been together for 9 years. And then I love Nate with his two grandmas who are best friends, Carol and Kathy. That's a cute story. Hi, Christina. And then there are the two sisters, Laura and Victoria. And then there's the two best friends, Alicia and Gail. They all have a really cool story. And they all get to interact with different actors, which I thought was amazing. Like they're right there at your shoulder and your left and your right. It's pretty cool. All right, so you're liking the daughter. You like okay. You're liking their storyline. I like them too. The Vermeers, mom, daughter, and daughter-in-law. Well, you know what? The Vermeers, Paige, which is the daughter, she's the one with the blonde hair, and Italian. So you had the correct pronunciation. Oh, okay. You're Italian. So am I. So am I. All right. So wait a minute. That's true, Jan. That's such a good story. And you know what? I'm going to write that down because I'm going to write Jan's question down about how they were selected. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Great question. All right. So coming back to this. Um, the Vermeer family, Carrie, who is the mom, and Paige, who is the daughter, they have Instagram accounts and they're showing, so are Donna and Rob. Donna is showing stuff from the cruise. I also think Donna might be on TikTok and they're showing some things that are coming up. So you might fall in love with their story and you might want to follow them. That would be cool. All right, I want to see what everyone said. Catherine says, I haven't seen the episode yet because I'm in on the West Coast time zone and it hadn't aired yet. I didn't want to miss the podcast. Okay, Catherine. So you can ask some questions. We'll try not to spoil stuff for you. Arlene says, hello, everyone. Yes, the Vermeers were great. And Christina says, I'm watching to get ideas for my cruise. Oh my gosh. First of all, that's the Norwegian Gem is what that one was called. That ship, I think it's their mid-sized ship. I don't know if you all had the opportunity to, hi Candace, to tune into the Q&A that we had. It was not just me. They invited myself along with a few other podcasters, which I'm sure that you are familiar with. Dear Hallmark, Dara from Dear Hallmark was there. Is it Rachel? Is that Rachel's name for Hallmarkies? She's like a pro out of all of us. She's been doing it the longest. Sarah and Julie from Suspenders were there. Eric was there from the movie mysteries and home, like he does Hallmark mysteries and more. And I always forget her first name. I just was introduced to her, and I respectfully am sorry. I'm going to have to learn her name, but she is from Girls Gone Hallmark, which is such a cool name. Anyway, we all were asking questions, and the actors. I don't know if you haven't seen that, you've got to see it, and I'll tell you why. You get to see them in a different light, even from all the interviews that like I get to do, you get to see the actors in a different light, but you really in this particular podcast get to see them in a different light because you're asking them how they feel about the fans. And it Paul Campbell in the interview even says that when he has to speak about things, especially in public and stuff, he cries and he gets emotional. And it's really, they were very much emotional. They said that coming off of that cruise, so the cruise, what was it, 3 nights, 4 days, made them, they said it was like this high that they were off of that lasted for days, which was so cool. You've got to see the chat, the Q&A. It's great. So anyway, this cruise is like, oh, it's a cruise, right? It was like a really special gift to so many people. The reasons why they were there, getting to meet each other. And I know sometimes people are like, oh, Hallmark's corny. Well, they admitted that, those fans, they embrace it. I admit it. But it's like a suspension in this world that seems to get more and more cruel every time I turn around. It's just such a wonderful experience to be with other people that get you. So I think it's a great experience. And if you could get on that cruise, God bless you. You are so, so blessed to go. I can't imagine what you must feel like afterwards with all of that love and all that fun stuff that they did. Like they don't have karaoke, they have karaoke. And everyone's got this wonderful story, which is great. We're going to talk a little bit more about them, but I wanted to hear some things that you had to say, not me just yammering on. I'm on the West Coast and it just aired. I hope you are recording it. Is it Miranda? Yes, I think so. Cindy, I loved it. Brought back happy memories of when I went on a cruise. Yes, this was a gorgeous ship. And they said that they are constantly like they would decorate it, have to break it down for something else and put it back up and decorate it. And it was decorated to the hilt. I mean, they had merchandise all over the place. By the way, it is Christmas in July, and I am having a melted snowman, which is just ice cold water. But this is a mug. I did an unboxing to talk about the news of the show, the docuseries itself, and this was sent to me from Hallmark. For me, I kept this one. It's really nice. I know it still has the tag on there. I washed it, but I left the tag on to show you that it was like real merchandise, that I didn't buy it and say they gave it to me. They really did, which was nice. All right, I'm gonna have a sip. Okay. I loved, what's to say? Yes, agree, Cindy. It was the best. They were so relaxed. They were. You really got to see them as humans. There's a part in the Q&A where Paul was like, he and Kimberly had to host a wine tasting and they had to taste wine, and then people were doing shots. There was alcohol involved. You got to see what was Wes Brown. He opened up his shirt a little bit more. Like you really got to see them as humans, which was all in good fun. So I agree, Arlene. Arlene, are you new to my channel by any chance? Is this your first? Arlene, don't be insulted if you are not, and I should know you. I apologize, but I'm just curious because your name is sticking out to me now. All right, Janice. Jan says, my husband and I have been on multiple cruises, and I kept thinking I would go nuts being in the middle of so many people, though I love them. Loved when Paul, Andrew, and the husband to be were in the gym. I know. We're going to talk about that, which I think is really great. Miranda, I love how engaged the actors are. It's great seeing how the actors interact with each other too. Paul calling out to Andrew, "Hey Drew." Yes, because that's what they call him. You love Andrew. Yes. I was thinking that this was Hallmark's answer to the Christmas weekends. Okay. Paul and Andrew are my faves. Candace, my favorite part was the man in the gym with Paul and Andrew. Yes, that's Rob, and telling them he wants to propose to his girlfriend and get married on the ship. And Paul saying he will officiate the wedding. I know, like that came out of nowhere. And I have to tell you that we talk some about that, but not a lot because, well, first of all, Donna has to say yes. And you could tell like she had no part in it, right? He had the veil. He was unwrapping the veil. He brought everything and he hid it. He put it inside his shoes and he said he knew she wouldn't know to go in his shoes for whatever reason. So you don't know if they get married or not, but you do know that he is going to propose. And whether they're able to do it on the ship, you're not sure. You'll have to wait as the story unravels because there's actually a lot to it. You'll see there's 4 parts. And of course, like Paul out of the blue, him being able to do that, right? Like that's wild. Yes. Oh, you got logged in. Hi, Kathy. Paul and Andrew were so relaxed and in real in the gym. They were. Okay, so let's first talk about Jonathan Bennett. Okay. Jonathan Bennett wants to have his own, I know he has a podcast, but he wants to have his own talk show. I think he wants to take over not midnight, take over the nighttime slots like Jimmy Fallon or what, that's on my East Coast. I don't know where that gets all broadcasted, but you know what I mean? Like take over and have a nighttime show because he's like Mr. Moderator, that kind of thing. I would like to have that job. He's so hyper and wild and running around, and he's like greeting people like Julie on the Love Boat, right? Which is fun. And he says some funny things. You got to go back and like listen. I want to some of the stuff he said when he had trying to get Wes Brown through the crowd, almost like he was his bodyguard. I know. Jonathan is the most outgoing, energetic, extroverted, gorgeous man ever. I love him. I actually had the opportunity to meet him. And I didn't see him as hyper and outgoing. He was very friendly, but here's what was so cool. When I met him, it was such a crowded, chaotic space. And he was standing with Lacey Chabert. They shared a space together and for this event. And there was a woman with a baby and she was connected with them. And it was just so chaotic in what was going on. He scooped the little baby, little infant from her and just held the baby and rocked the baby and put the baby to sleep so that the woman who had to do her job could. And he had a baby attached to him for like an hour on his feet standing. So he was like very calm, very friendly, but not like crazy energetic, totally different side of him. He needs to have a talk show on Hallmark Channel and have the actors on, like Hallmark Scoop. I want that job, Cindy. Can I be his co-host? He can only have it if I can be his co-host. Yes, and Jonathan would be great for late night. He would. He would. All right. Sandra says, I like the part they showed with Erin with Donna and Rob. Erin was really engaged and present. Her hugs feel very real. Okay, Sandra, let's talk for a few minutes about her. And then we'll go into. I was going to talk about the Vermeier family, but instead I'm going to talk about Donna and Rob because it segues into that. Erin Cahill is my guest tomorrow. And it's at a time where, I mean, I wanted to do it now. I could have waited till after like the middle of July, but I wanted to talk to her now for selfish reasons. So she's available in this very small time slot at 5:30 Eastern time. So if you can't catch us on the live, which gives you an opportunity to ask her questions that you might have live, and she'll answer them in real time. She is so sweet and lovely. But you can always watch it in a replay. And you can ask questions, but I would have to answer them. But if you wanted to talk with her, it's 5:30 Eastern. I already have it posted up on my channel. And we will talk with her. And yes, I loved their interaction. She caught them up talking about Donna's dress. She wanted to look like a Christmas tree. And she was saying, yes, you did a great job. And she gave them a hug. But they zeroed in on how she was holding their hands when she was having her conversation. And in the Q&A, you could see how heartfelt and emotional she was about it. They all were. Like Ben Ayers is a piece of work trip. I have like a shenanigans thing to show of his that I cut off in the beginning, but he says the most craziest things, but he also is just in love with what he does and in love with just the idea of how much joy he does. They don't realize how much joy that they actually bring to people. I mean, they do and they don't. it's surreal for us and it's surreal for them, which is so nice because it makes them human. But I was even more so than getting to see that side of, he's a good actor, isn't he, Jan Ben Ayers? Besides getting to see a side of the actors, which I get to see a little bit of when I either meet them, which I don't get to meet a lot, or when I get to do the podcast, you get to see it, them nervous or very human, right? I was very much interested in the people and their stories. And I said to the publicists that I was working with, I was like, that work for Hallmark, can I have them on? It's their story. I know they're not polished. They're probably afraid that they'll leak something when they shouldn't. So eventually I hope I can have them on. But Donna and Rob, definitely I wanted to have on. So here's one of the things that I loved about Donna and Rob. And I don't know if you caught this. Let me know if you caught this. If not, you got to go back. They met 9 years ago in a gym, right? So they're both, she's a trainer and he is too. And they're still beautifully physically fit. We know that she had to have a major operation in her brain stem, and that took her out of training for a while. She very much loves Christmas, but she was introduced to the love of Hallmark through Rob. And Rob is so into Hallmark because that's what made him have like a connection with his mother, and they show a picture of it. So it's Rob who introduced Donna, and I love it because I'm yelling. I'm sorry. I just realized I was yelling. I'm sorry. Sorry. Tone it down. What I love about it is that Rob, like, so you know how we do stereotypes, right? And you think, oh, some laid back, casual kind of guy watching the shows for Hallmark. And here's Rob. He is kind of laid back, but Rob's like, Mister, I'm in the gym. But he's also a softie, and he cries, she said, when he watches it, and he watches it with his cute mom. And I just thought that was beautiful. And how romantic is this man that he wanted to propose to her a few years back, but and they have a blended family of 7 kids. He has 2, she has 5. Wanted to propose to her. However, she had all those medical things happen. So now they're on this cruise. And I even remember when he tells Curry, Vermeier, I'll tell you a secret. I'm going to propose to Donna. And she's like, oh my gosh. And Donna shares it with her daughter and daughter-in-law. And they're like, of course she's going to say yes. How could you not? He loves Hallmark. Look at him. He's like, he's just, you would never guess when you looked at him, right? So you can't judge a book by a cover. I just love their story. I like the whole where he waited for her to decorate the door, and then he's in his bag and he's taken out the rings and he has a little veil for her. He brought everything with him so that if she said yes, she would also possibly be able to get married and not say, well, I need a dress, because he's got it all there for her. I know. I love that. I love that. All right, Jim, what's this? I absolutely love him in the movie about the newly adopted baby in Bethlehem. Jan, I'm thinking that too. That's Ben Ayers. That movie melts my heart and makes me so emotional just even thinking about it. And he was such a goofy character, but not. He was such a wonderful human, and their whole family. I loved it. It's so good. If you all didn't see it, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I love that they made it take place in Bethlehem, which isn't far from my house. It's less than an hour away. Kathy, I just couldn't believe how so many people were on the cruise. It looked like a blast. There were a little over 2,000 people. Yes, over 2,000 people. All right. I'm excited to meet Erin and Ben in KC. So you're going to go. Oh, yes, because they're in the same week with When Calls the Heart. And Cindy, here's why, I think, because that's where they do the series. So Peter Mooney, I love that man. Peter Mooney and Sarah Drew are in a series, Mistletoe Murders. Outstanding. I cannot wait to watch the second season. So that's a series that they're in. That's why they're there. And by the way, Sarah and Erin are BFFs. And Erin's in a series, Holidays, and Ben Ayers is in a series. It's a mystery series. I love that one too. So that's probably why they have them all together, which I think is cool. All right. Let's see what we got here. Wasn't Ben Ayers in the movie Falling for Vermont with Julie Gonzalo? Great movie. Yes. Right. He played a doctor and he had a son and daughter, and she has a memory loss. Yes. Ben's been in so many things. He's got this great sense of humor and he can play a wide range of people. He's just pretty amazing. He's not pretty. He is an amazing guy. In the Q&A, he's sitting there with a giant blender. Okay, I am not joking. You have to watch the Q&A for the dumb stuff that's in it. I mean, a blender. It is a true blender where you get to see the metal thing that spins on the bottom of it, and he's drinking straight from it. And then he tells the story of why he is like real nonchalant. We're all like, what are you doing? All right, so Rob and Donna, tell me, do you think they get married? What do you think? You think that she says yes? What do you think? Do you think that she says yes on the cruise? I have to look at my notes. Did I miss out anything? Oh, what about, I hope I get to talk to them, because where in the world did Rob get that suit? Remember, he's on the suit and his suit has big giant white snowflakes all over it. Yes, I hope they get married. Yes. No matter what, I know that they're going to get married because he wants to propose to her. Now, whether it all gets to be done on the ship or not, because he's got to find the right moment and all that good stuff. And then there's a legality a part of, I think if you're going to officiate, you got to be on U.S. soil. I know they go or U.S. waters. I do know they go to the Bahamas, which is kind of cool. Yes, you hope they get married on the cruise. I do too. That would be fun to see. And that's not scripted, right? That's just like all of this is like reality TV. And Jen, that's a great question. Out of all those people, how were those 5 stories told? I wonder if you had to write in and they asked. I'm going to ask that question and we'll see. I'm not sure if the stars know, but I will definitely ask my people on this end. I love seeing all the shirts, outfits people were wearing, so festive. They had a silent disco. They had a trivia. You saw the trivia where the 2 sisters, Laura and Victoria, they thought they were great at trivia. And they're like, oh God, we were mid. We were like, we didn't do such a great job. Now there's a cool story. So Laura and Victoria are sisters. And Laura was like, she's my best friend. I waited for her. I mean, how many sisters say that? My sister doesn't call me her best friend, and I don't call her my best friend, although I love my sister. But they're best friends. And did you see how excited she was for her sister? She was going to have a baby. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're just so cute. And they just want to have me time because one's in Oklahoma, the other one's in New York City, but they're in the industry. So Laura wrote a movie. So I'm excited because you could see in the little clips that they were given. Yes, 3 mile limit. You are correct, Jan. Thank you for that. Yes. Thank you for that. Did you see where they where commercial times came and they would show like future things that are to come? Paul Campbell and Kimberly Susted sit down, I think, with Laura and look at her movie that she wrote, which I think is cool because he's a fantastic writer. And they like critique it, which would be so cool. What if her movie gets to become a movie? That would be great. I think that would be great. All right. So I'm looking at all my other notes. I want to see what Kimberly and Paul thought of her pages. Yes. So do I. And I hope that it's not just something they gloss over, that we really get to see more information, right? I do. I have no idea what my handwriting says here. I'm trying to think of what this one is saying, but I don't know. Christmas in December. I have no idea what my notes are saying. Okay, so then we have the 2 best friends. They have been best friends for 46 years. I can relate to that. And that's Alicia and Gail. And what's interesting is that Alicia and Gail, has like what do we want to say? Like one is very shy and it needs to come out of her comfort zone. And she left her friend high and dry up there when they were singing karaoke. I was like, I felt bad for her, right? I know I felt bad for her. I like the 16-year-old and his grandma's Cindy. Listen, Cindy, that's Nate and Carol and Kathy. But here's what I thought was so funny. They got tired of him after a while, right? They left him on his own. He's like, do you see my grandma anywhere? My grandma's my grandma's. Remember he talked to the one woman who said, I am a grandma. He goes, they did this for me for my 60th birthday. And she goes, they did this for me for my 80th birthday. I was like, oh, so he's in love with his grandmas. He's in love with Hallmark. They did this for him. And they were sitting on the lawn chairs, taking a little space from him. They were talking about how he sends them stuff on oh, wait a minute. I have to go back. I can relate to, I know. Oh, wait a minute. Miranda's saying something. I'm sorry. Where they don't look at their phones because, he's constantly trying to track them with it. Oh gosh, yes, that's awesome. Love them. I was thinking the same thing, Kathleen. Okay. Jen says, I think the friends work well together because they are opposites. They are. And I'm not gonna spoil things, but I'm gonna tell you that their story is one of my favorites. I want them to be my guest so bad because they interact with Tyler Hines and it is amazing. If you are a Tyler fan, you will fall in love with him hands down. I will tell you a secret. He's one of the people that I never ask to have on because the man like oozes charisma. He's got Riz. And I don't know that I would be able to, like, I'm blushing now. I don't know that I would be able to handle myself. Like, I don't know if I would have a conscious thought, right? So I'm afraid to chat with that man. But anyway, you will fall in love with him when you get to see his interaction with the girls. It is so good. It's good. It's very good. And I'm not spoiling that because they show you little clips already ahead of that. And I think I talked about all 5 of the families or the fans that they get to interact with. But I have to talk more about the Vermeer family because that's interesting. But before I do, I wanted to see what this one says. Miranda, I can relate to the sisters. I think I know everything about Hallmark. See what I did there. But during the holidays on the HM page, I realized how much I don't know when it comes to the trivia. I love that. That was cute. I crack you up. I do. Sandra, I crack you up. That's funny. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the girls. Now, I want to have them on because I want to know how they feel after it all happens and they get to see themselves. Okay. So yes, he does come off as so relaxed. Wait a minute. Everybody else, I know I'm digress. I'm gonna get back to them. Jan, everybody else is running out there in their like matching shirts when they were introducing everyone, and he's got on a robe and slippers, and they're shouting, take it off. They're a little spicy, the crowd. Okay, so the mom with her daughter and daughter-in-law, which is so adorable. I love them. So she had a double mastectomy, which she shared, and she her family members have the gene for breast cancer. And she had her 2 sisters that had breast cancer. So she went through a lot and she was doing great. And how about her coming up with the idea of a hall pass? Her Hallmark pass is Wes Brown. And to say that out loud and to tell her daughter to call Wes Brown her stepdaddy. I was like, and then okay, this is when Jonathan was trying to walk by with Wes Brown, almost like he was his bodyguard, leading him, and he comes up with these women and all of that interaction, and I was like, oh my gosh! She even says to him, "You're my hall pass." I don't know that I could tell a man that you're my hall pass. I don't know that I could ever even or Hallmark pass. Like I don't. So anyway, he was great. I'm not saying anything bad about the girls. They're just very confident. And I remember at one point, and you have to go back to watch if you didn't see it, where the daughter says, not the daughter, I'm sorry, I saw what Jan said, where Jonathan Bennett goes, I think we need to go now. I think we need to go so we can we need to protect Wes. Oh my gosh. And then Paige is in love with Tyler, and she tells Jonathan to give him her number. Can you pass along my number to Tyler? And Jonathan's like, yeah, sure I can. Oh my gosh. And then she's like, I think I have a chance. And the mother's like, you know, winking. Yeah, you do. I'm thinking those two girls are wild. They were wild. All right. I wonder about the daughter. So, do you think we'll get to see her meeting Tyler? I don't know. It seems like all these people had their little wishes come true in some way or form, right? All right. The rooms were decorated beautifully. They had Hallmark pillows, they had Hallmark everything all over the place. It was absolutely gorgeous. I had asked the actors what it was like. What was the ship itself like? What did they offer? What was on there? And they were like, I don't know. And they said, because, and this is true. I talked to someone who worked on a cruise ship, a couple of people, and there's like this whole underground world, and they would just whisk the actors away. All they saw was going through kitchens, they said, and you have to watch the Q&A, and they tell you, we have no idea. So, and then we'd pop up out of somewhere. So there were some things they got to experience, but the gym, we know they have a gym, right? Now, how cool is that? Because as soon as you meet Rob says, my favorite actor is Paul. And he gets to meet Paul in the gym, right? That's just them. I know. I think all the stars get back to the rooms and go, at last, time to relax. I know. It's kind of scary, but fun. Very fun. I think these guys must be used to the women going gaga for them. Ben Ayers shares a really cool story about that in the Q&A, where he says that he comes off of that whole experience where he said they had bodyguards all over the place, especially when they were coming off of the ship, right, and going to walk around in the Bahamas. Bodyguards are everywhere, guards everywhere. That's the word he used. So he said he comes home and he's taking his daughters for a ride in the car, and they have to go to a mall because Chalamet, Timothy Chalamet is going to be there. He's like, all right, I'll take you. So he takes them and he said it was mobbed, and not a single soul recognized him. How humbling. And then he had to not out now right after that, he has to wind up going to a function, and his mom's going to come, and it's something that he is taking part in. And he's like, oh, mom, wait do you see? She's like, what are we doing now? Like, they just think, he's like a normal guy who has to take out the garbage. He's driving his daughters around to go see Timothy Chalamet, which I think is funny. Yeah, I know. They should have the guards everywhere. Yep. Yes. And a yes. So what do you think? Are you intrigued that you want to watch more of this? I'm trying to think if I left out anything. I think I'm okay. I want to talk about a prize because I had mentioned something about a prize. Are you intrigued? I see that you're telling me some of you are thinking that there will be definitely, I think there'll be the proposal, but we're hoping the wedding can happen. And what was the other thing? Oh, Paige. You think Paige will get some alone time with Tyler? Like, would they allow that? I don't know. I think that's like, gotta watch on that one. I definitely will continue watching. Me too. Kathy says, I wonder if the gym was only for the actors or if they commingled with the guests. Rob was within the gym, so probably the stars don't get much workout done if they didn't get to be sequestered. You know what? They talk about that. It was for everybody. It's just that it was early and they're gym people. There's going to be a time, and it's okay that I say this, where you'll see Nikki, and Nikki runs into Donna, and they talk a little bit about the gym. And she says, oh, my partner, Rob, ran into, and she says, before she could finish, Nikki says, let me guess. I know who she ran into, because we're the three that are constantly in the gym wherever we go. And she knew that it would be Paul and Andrew would be in there, because the three of them are always looking for a gym and workout wherever they go, whenever they're making a movie. So anybody could use it. I'm glad you're going to continue watching. Okay, so I have some trivia before we part. I was trying to keep it to a half hour because it's later, but it's okay. So here's what my question was. Okay, these are from my When Calls the Heart peeps. And you know what? Where's my friend that didn't answer if she was new? I hope I didn't insult her. I wanted to know if she was new to the podcast back here. I love when different people interact before I ask the question. Where is she? I'm looking. Candace? No. Watch again tomorrow. Oh, so some of you are going to watch again tomorrow on the Hallmark Plus. Good. Okay. I don't remember who it was now, if they were new. It was when the man in the gym with the Paul. Was it Candace? Candace Woodward? Okay. Let's see. I'm hooked. I can imagine the after hours get together for the actors. Oh, gosh. It was Arlene. I don't typically watch reality shows, but I think this was cute. I'll continue to watch. Sandra, I don't watch reality TV either. But this is a docuseries. All right, you ready? When Calls the Heart. So this is for my When Calls the Heart fans that joined, because I added it to a page because we're in between and we're waiting for content, anything we can get. So I wanted to know, which of the When Calls the Heart actors, you can pick one or two, whichever one, because there's more than one. Which one of the When Calls the Heart actors, like for instance, Aaron or Chris McNally or Kevin McGarry or Kayla Wallace or even Paul Green, any that Lori Loughlin, whoever's been on the show, have been in a Christmas movie or starred in a Christmas movie with one of the actors that were on the tent. There's 11 actors that were on this cruise. Jonathan Bennett, Ben Ayers, Andrew Walker, Tyler Hines, Wes Brown, Aaron Cahill, who is my guest tomorrow again at 5:30, Taylor Cole, Sarah Drew, Paul Campbell, and Nikki DeLoach, and can't forget Kimberly Susted. Which one of the actors? And I need a team. You can't give me one. So if it's Aaron, someone's saying Aaron, who did she act with in what Christmas movie? Gotta give me the whole thing, okay? Sandra, I'm talking about When Calls the Heart. A When Calls the Heart actor with one on that were on the cruise ship for a Christmas movie. Again, it's a Christmas movie. Because this is Christmas in July. A When Calls the Heart actor who was in a Christmas movie with one of the actors from Christmas at Sea. Arlene, you got it. Aaron Krakow was with Ben Ayers in Santa Tell Me, and he was great in it, right? Yes. You're the first. There's more than one. Maybe we'll do it for next week. So we got one. Aaron Krakow and Ben Ayers in Santa Tell Me. I know. I love that. He played a good part, right? Oh, gosh. I loved it. So, Arlene, I'm going to send you a prize. And I think, Arlene, that I have your address already, right? And Sandra's still thinking, oh, let me wait. Oh, let me think. It's okay. Oh, wait, Christmas, let me think. It's okay. All right. I'm glad that you're going to continue to watch. And I hope you can join tomorrow when Aaron will be on. We're going to talk about Christmas at Sea. And I've got to talk about holidays with her. Oh, gosh. If you're not watching Holidays, it's amazing. You get to see it on Sunday nights, 8 o'clock. They do 2 episodes because there were 8. So they do 2 episodes each Sunday night. Episode 1 and 2 already aired. I love her story. She plays a sheriff. She has a son. He's a doll. Oh my gosh, he is a doll. And I love that story. Now, some people were like, there, I couldn't get into the first episode. I forget where I saw them. And I said, you know what? Watch it, because it was an introductory like type of episode. People were like, well, I don't see a lot of Hallmark stars. There were a lot of Hallmark stars, but here's the beauty of it. There's also several very talented first time to Hallmark kind of experience outside of Hallmark on wonderful shows and movies. I just can't say enough about it. When is it on again? It's on Sunday nights, Jan, 8 and 9 o'clock, 2 episodes each week. So we already saw episodes 1 and 2. If you're talking about my podcast tomorrow, that's at 5:30. I already have that one up, 5:30 Eastern. But the episodes for holidays, if you have Hallmark Plus, they're all on there because it was made for Hallmark Plus. It's good. It is good. You'll laugh. Some of it will touch your heart and make you cry. Yes, the first 2. Yes, they came on last night. However, you can still catch it. All right, friends. I hope you're enjoying Christmas in July, right? Bring a little happiness because there's a lot of sadness going on in this world. Really, really, really is. Okay. Thank you. Merry Christmas in July. Thank you for spending time with me. Good. I love that, Catherine. Good. I did my job. Thank you. Good night.